Hey YouTube, and welcome back to the Sneaky V YouTube channel. Last time you guys saw me, I was getting the oil pump, timing set, and cam into this engine. But what you see before me now is basically a completed long block. I have the heads on, I have the oil pan on, and all of that stuff. The reason for that is because I went through a whole lot of work putting the oil pickup tube, oil pan on, the front and rear covers, and the heads, only to find out that my camera lens was smudged. So I did what any sane man would do in that situation. I kept moving forward. So instead of going through the whole process of taking all of that back off, redoing it again for the camera, because it's a lot of hard work. These heads particularly, they have a specific pattern that you have to tighten the bolts in, and you have to tighten them all the way up, some of them all the way up to 90 foot-pounds, and that's a really hard thing to do. So I'm not going to bother taking any of this back off. I'm just going to continue on with the next part of what I have to do. And the next thing that I have to do is measure for my push rods. And to do that, we use one of these little devices here. This is a push rod length checker. It came with my rocker arm set here. I had to take these rocker arms back off, of course, to get the heads on. But it came with my rocker arm set. And what it does is it slides down into your rocker arm area there. And it allows you to test how long your push rods are going to need to be to actuate your rocker arms. And it's adjustable, so it can screw up and down. You can screw that up probably a couple inches. You can completely remove sections, and it just helps you to measure how long your push rods are going to need to be. And you can completely remove a section. You can remove two sections if you need to. So yeah, I'm going to be using that. And I have another one of these is already in the block. So I went ahead and got that in there just to be ahead of the game when I got started videoing. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is remove one of my springs, because these springs are high spring rate. I don't want to damage my little push rod checker there. So I'm going to take one of these springs back off and put one of my old springs back on, which were weaker. So let's get that done. Screw this in. And I'm just going to use my little impact wrench here to get this torque down. Perfect. Loud noise coming in. That's torque down. And then I use my Allen keys here to push down on the springs until the little locks pop out there, at least on one of them. So I'm just going to be taking this one. Still can't get it out. The first one. And loosen that back up so that the other one stays in. Ratchet that back off. And that spring is loose. Stick my old spring back in. Get this guy back on. Actually, wait, I need to put this over the top. Get this guy back on. Get that zip back down. And tighten it back down here. Normally when doing this, you would have something in place to hold your valve up, because you can't really do it from the outside of the head. But I don't have anything like that, so I'm just going with it. Send it. This can be a little difficult. This can be a little difficult to do. Get my locks back in here. And let it loose. Alright, so now that I have my lower rate spring back in there, I need to put my rocker arm rail and my rocker arms back on to get this spring to be pushed down with this spring checker here. So, grab my rails here, and these go in like this. Get this guy locked down. That's actually the wrong size. I think I'm gonna need a standard size. A little bit smaller than that. Alright, so now that I have my rocker arm rail on there, I'm going to put on a set of my rocker arms here. And get these guys on. And I'm gonna go ahead and get them zipped down with my impact wrench here as well. And that one doesn't have any play. Now what I need to do is rotate the engine over to make this open and close. And in order to do that, I actually need to take this front cover back off because my little wrench that fits over my crankshaft here doesn't fit with that cover on. So where is it? This one. Let's take this back off. Whoops, wrong way. There's that old oil pump and everything that I put on way last time. And here's my crankshaft turning socket. It goes on here somehow. And then I just turn my crankshaft. And there goes that one opening, closing. The exhaust side is opening right now and closing. So it should be on the base circle right now. Okay, now that I've done that, I remember that I forgot something. Now, in order to tell what this rocker arm is actually sitting at on this valve spring stem or the valve stem, you actually need to take a little bit of magic marker and put it on there before you do this, because otherwise you don't have any kind of indication where this thing is landing at. You want it to be sort of in the center, because that will give you like the proper geometry of your valve train. So let's get this back off and get that straightened out. Dry erase marker. Alright, got that whole thing painted black. Get these guys back on. And zip them back down. Let's try that again. And what I'm looking for here is the opening and closing of this valve. And when this valve opens and closes, it actually moves back and forth across the tip of this valve stem here. And what I want it to be is mostly in the middle, as in the middle as I can possibly get it. So if it's like too far back, I want to adjust it so that it's a little more forward. And if it's too far forward, I want to adjust it so it's a little more back. And that way I can figure out how long to get my valve, my push rods. So let's do this. Couple of times at least. And snatch that back off and have a look. So looking at this, my rocker arm tip is actually hitting basically perfectly in the middle of this. So whatever length I have that at should be spot on for my rocker arms. So I can take this and measure it, and that should give me the proper length for my push rods. And I can order the push rods and go ahead and have them sent and get all of them done. On top of that, if it's not right on, these are actually quite adjustable. So I can move those in and out with an adjustment screw there. I had to have an adjustable one because I'm using solid roller cams. So if it's not like spot on, I can always adjust it a little bit here. But there goes my gasket, and yeah. So this is about the perfect size for my push rods, and that's what I'm gonna go with. So I guess that's it for today. The next thing I'm probably gonna do is get my accessories installed. First thing I need to do is buy a water pump to do that. So I'll see you guys whenever I get that water pump in. I'm gonna go ahead and order my push rods. And thank you for watching. Be sure to send your friends my way because I can use the views. Hit that like and subscribe button, and have a good one.